He's just fine. Angel with a sleepy trouble bubble. The paddle star weaved around the blitz crank to find some critical damage and force JDG away, but that is still a Drake traded for a kill.
Yeah, big flash hook there onto SOFM to try to get something back. But unfortunately, JDG did end up actually committing their teleport out of Zoom. So, not as big of a win as they would want. They were hoping to extend that play, try to get more kills on the back end of it. As you say, Suning does pick up another one. I'm not sure if SOFM ever got out of the CC chain to have a chance to actually use his ult because he did get flash hook. The silence is going to follow that up. The punch is there too. A lot of CC going to be layered on top of you, so will be critical for him to go towards some tenacity or perhaps even a QSS. When there's all this point-and-click CC, you have everything from the blitz, including the silence that can deny you, the gold card, the Ash arrow, the stun from the Renekton. Can be very difficult in situations like that to be able to get good use out of the ultimate, but you also have to consider the fact that you are a big source of consistent damage for this team, right? And he may feel that he needs to kind of run that risk to make sure that he's doing optimal damage before his team will win this game.
Now, up top side, both of them have just now hit level 10. Been trying to keep this as close of a matchup as he can, but still a 20 CS lead, a little over 3 waves for Zoom on this Renekton. And remember, this is the champion that he played in both games 1 and 2, had an impressive laning phase in both. Of course, in game number 2, they were not able to find the win despite that. But this is a champion that this guy looks ferocious on. Goes back to base right now, does have enough money to finish the Black Cleaver. This is more completed items than he had at about 30 minutes in the previous game, so things going much better for him when he doesn't have to deal with a 2-0 opponent at the start.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it turns out League of Legends works that kind of a way.
It's a lot easier.
And
this guy doesn't even have a sheen.
Well, now we got Sword Art going in, but the follow-up CC is there from JDG, who forced him right back over the wall with the flash. And with the enemy support on the run, JDG is confident to step up here. Kanavi with the dash over the wall, continuing to clear out some of that vision. Steps away from the trouble bubble as it bounces into the trouble funnel. And JDG with priority over mid lane will continue shoving this out, sitting down wards, sweeping out those of Suning. And you can see on the left side of your screen, the 3 richest men on the Rift are all wearing JDG colors.
Yeah, and look at the jungle difference already is getting pretty big. Yagao has a lot of gold injected into him. Obviously, some of that is the TF passive, but this Graves is already really, really strong. Again, ahead a good 40 CS, kind of similar to what we saw happen in that first game. He does have the Umbral Glaive for the vision control. Black Cleaver also going to be pretty effective this game for Renekton. He has double marksman on his team. Armor stacking going to be happening from that Volibear, and potentially Thresh will be building up some armor. So shredding through that, always going to be useful for that Graves, as well as the Ash. And looking for a Hex Flash play.
Umau, of course, can't make a move onto SOFM because there's about 19 Krugs in the way. But he's still got his rest of his team behind him. He's still a big threat if they try to save this tier 1 turret, which they won't be able to do. So now that is a 2-0 turret lead the side of JDG. 4,500 gold ahead. Now, Ocean Rift means that it's important to stop this soul stacking before it gets to soul point, before you're at that do or die situation where they could just find a soul as a win condition. So here in a minute and a half, I fully expect JDG to be in position to not let Suning take this third Drake. Yagao shows up in the bottom lane, trying to stop Bin, clearing away the minions first and foremost, as Bin tries to disengage here. Sword Art is coming down to help him, wants to give him that lantern to escape, pulls him to safety. Yagao could try to follow with the ulti, but nobody else is close enough to help him, and he's almost out of mana, so seems like he would be teleporting to his own death. Opts not to do that.
Yeah, nice run from Sword Art to be able to protect the Volibear there and get the TF ultimate out, because TF ult won't be up for this dragon fight now, which can be impactful. Gonna be harder for him to follow up on any sort of plays. But as you say, this is the Ocean Rift. This is the potential Ocean Soul here. If Suning can grab this dragon, they do have a true frontliner this game. They're gonna have the volley, building into this really tanky bear. And if he can get towards that Ocean Soul, he's gonna become incredibly difficult for his opponents to deal with. You can see SOFM did decide to make a pit stop for the QSS, as I had been talking about earlier.
Big beefy.
Because there is so much CC, it's going to be so difficult for him to get a high-value ultimate otherwise, and he's just feeling like he needs to be there for that utility. But JDG pushing in mid lane, bot lane tower is going to be theirs as well.